Hello everyone, happy Monday. Today I'm going to do a video on my health folders. I also want to make an appointment sheet, which is kind of what prompted this video, but I do get asked a lot about the folders and what they're used for. And real quick, I'm back in my Mark and Graham notebook cover. This is from Stony Clover, I glued it on. This is from a Louis Vuitton something, what is it called? I don't remember. It's from one of the things. That's from old from Etsy. It's like about to break. And this is my iPad mini 7, if you guys are new, with an Amazon case. I do have this linked in my storefront. And these are in my Etsy shop. These are my hyperlink folders. I use these for 3 different things. I have a health one. I have an everything one, which just has a lot of, those are my therapy notes. This just has a lot of random things, like no kind of rhyme or reason. And then this is my budget one. So these are all my different budget kind of calendars and all that stuff. So today we're going to be focusing on my health ones. So if you guys, a lot of people will say to me, I want to plan, but I feel like I have nothing to plan. A health folder is one of the perfect things that can get you guys started with digital planning, because no one out there can tell me that they don't need this, okay? Whether or not you're someone that frequents the doctor or has, maybe some of you have several health issues, whatever spectrum, part of the spectrum you're on with that, you can use a health planner. So with these health planners, I have a whole section just to share with you guys because I don't mind. My husband and I are not starting IVF because we're not there yet. We don't need IVF yet, but we are on the process of getting some fertility help. And so I have like a whole fertility section here. I have all my medications and supplements, either that I have taken or that I take now with my doses and everything. Not that many, to be honest, but I have pretty much just things I've tried, what works, what didn't, all that kind of stuff. This is an example. I showed this before. I actually had to refilm this video. This is a little example of like my scan and all those things that I've done. And then I also have some information on my yearly overview. I know I can't show that much because it is personal, but I use this quite a bit. So anytime I go to the doctor, whether it's in person or Zoom, I will make a sheet for it. And even if it's in person and I don't bring my iPad like open in the appointment, it's usually in my purse. Like if I'm at an appointment, I will make a sheet for it. And then as soon as I leave, I will literally go into the car and write down the notes so I don't forget. Or I could write notes on my phone and then transfer it to this is like a more of a long-term thing. So let's go ahead because I do have some follow-up. I have some things going on. I have an appointment coming up. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the new folder inserts. I released these last night. They are patterned. Where did I put them? Hold on a second. And I have actually, just really quick, I have folder health inserts, and this is what I use. These are the monthly ones. These are doctor information trackers. Like instead of a business card, you can put those in there. I have some just like dashboard type things. I have the annual appointments folder insert. I have ideal routines, which I love. This is the scan tracker. If you guys are someone that gets maybe, annual mammograms, maybe, every couple of months mammograms, this would be great for you to have so you have your dates. This is like a doctor sheet where you can actually put in the date, and you could fit a decent amount of stuff in these notes. You can write down like a date that you went to the doctor, or you up here, like let's just say you have your fertility. Okay. You can write the date and what happened at the appointment. So you can kind of have an overview of what you talked about there, a quick snippet, what was the reason. So I have those in a lot of colors. That was actually an example. I have insurance information. You can use this for insurance tracking, medications, name, dose, prescriber. You can also put, if you don't want prescriber, you can put like the reason, what's the medication, what's the reason for it, supplements, all that. So those are in the health inserts. For this specific appointment, I want to use, let me find it, pattern folders, pattern, these. I'm going to grab a pattern folder. I think I'm going to grab the yellow spotted one. I'm going to copy this over. Okay. I'm going to go into my health planner, which is right here. And I'm actually just going to quickly go right here, and I'm going to go to this appointment. I'm going to go to this is where I keep all my doctor's notes, in the heart one. And I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm going to paste that page. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is how I kind of prep for the appointment. Okay. I'm going to split the screen. I'm going to put in here, follow up. And then I'm going to just go like that and put that here. I did not want to put the pattern there so that I could be able to write on the tab. And I'm going to kind of go into, I'm going to show you guys how this is going to work. So I'm going to first, I know randomly in my budget bundle, I have these date stickers, which I want. Let me put those in here. Hold on. Where did I put those? Oh, actually, I can use one of these paper clips. So I'm going to do the pink date paper clips. I actually don't have a date for the appointment. It will be soon. I just have to wait for a couple more things to come back. And then I'm going to go into my quick planning folder. And I'm going to go into the black and white. I'm going to put the appointment sticker in here. I could have actually done this, but this is cuter, the time and location. I want to leave that there. So I'll have like the main information up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a call notes sticky note. That way I can kind of just like have a section for notes. And then in my health stickers, I'm going to go to my stickers. I'm going to go to health. In here, I have a bunch of these. So I'm going to do... I just wanted to ask. I know I have ones that say question. I'm just trying to remember where I put them. Actually, I am going to get this blood pressure sticker because I'm going to do these two. I'm basically doing this test. It's guys, being a woman, I have to do this test to figure out if something affects my blood sugar, my blood pressure. Okay. And then I'm going to go, it's in the fertility pack. That's where they are. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the questions. And this is going to be my list of questions that I am going to have ahead of time. I'm going to actually fill this out ahead of time. That way, when I'm at the Zoom call, I can just sit here with my iPad open and ask the questions. I'm going to also get a next steps. Questions and next steps are the two main things that I actually might delete this and just use that because now I have these rooms. Questions and next steps are kind of like the two main things that I want to be able to keep track of during the appointment. These are in the fertility and IVF. The fertility and IVF pack could be used for other things like tracking your period. Maybe you're trying not to get pregnant. So you can use those still, even if you're not trying to, get pregnant through IVF. But those, if you guys want more health sticky notes, maybe I'll do some more of those. Sorry. So we have questions, next steps, call notes. And then I'm also going to quickly get a symptom sticker because it's funny. When I was at this appointment, when I was at my first appointment with him, I feel like I didn't, I can't blame myself because I didn't know. But when we got off the phone, I kind of had all these thoughts, which I'm sure this happens to you guys. I can't be the only one. Where I was like, he mentioned that and I said no, but yes. So I kind of want to write down, which I did in my previous appointment one, but I kind of want to write down what we had talked about in the previous appointment and kind of explain maybe some things that I'm questioning. So this is kind of what it looks like to do a prep sheet. And that took me literally 2 minutes, but if I wasn't talking, it would have taken me 1. So it's just a little bit freeing to know I can go into the appointment and not have to worry. Another good tip for appointments is if you are doing it through Zoom, you can obviously record it with your phone, or you can record it through that button. That button will record the whole meeting. Then you can actually listen to it later and you can go back and take notes on that later. So that is what my health sheet will look like. I have one of these, like I said, for every single appointment. The only appointments I won't do is if I go in for my annual PAP, they do a PAP, I leave, I get the results. The only thing I'm doing in my planner is I'm going to my results tracker and I'm going to enter in what's the date I got my PAP, what's the date I got my results, what were they. So but any other kind of more complicated, maybe exploratory appointments, like you're trying to figure out what's wrong, maybe haven't been feeling well lately, that is another really big key. And I'm going to show you guys some different ways that you can actually track that. Actually, I don't really mind showing my March. Yes, I do. It just has too many personal things on it. But this is my June, I believe. No, this is my May. May has not started yet, so I haven't filled this out. But a way that you guys can use these, I do have separate monthly calendars in these health folders because, I show my iPad every day on live. And so if I didn't, maybe I would keep my health stuff with my personal calendar. But I kind of like that it's separate, honestly. And if you guys are, like I said, trying to get to the bottom of a specific health issue, make it fun, make it cute, right? So I could come here and I could get, and I do this for myself, and I can get a color key. These are in my Etsy shop under color key, I think. If you type in the word key, they'll come up. And I can come here and let's just say you're tracking things. Maybe you're tracking your period. I could put spotting. I could put spotting. Hold on. I could put heavy, I could put whatever, and then I can actually come here, and the way that I recommend doing this is if you're going to use the highlighter tool, make sure that whatever colors that you have here, you have saved as your presets. That will help you greatly, and make sure that they're the only colors saved as your presets. That's the only way I found the highlighter tool to be useful. If I don't want to do the highlighter tool, I will actually just go and grab a circle from the color dictionary, which I'll show you what that looks like. Color dictionary. And I will just grab one of these from every color book so they're different enough, like every color page. And then I can shrink those in. And then let's just say I want to track the spotting. I can just click on it, duplicate it, and move it. So that's one way that you can do it, or you can use it through here. And then when you're done, let's just say you want to track the pink, in my highlighter tool, I'll only have these presets. And so, actually, I think this is a different pink, but this is why it's important. No, it's the same. Then you can use the highlighter tool. So that is how I use the Health Monthly. Again, I'm not in this every single day. I am someone that does struggle, unfortunately, with a lot of health anxiety. And so it has been very helpful, a way that I've kind of conquered the health anxiety slightly. It's still something I struggle with, but I will write down, let's just say I have a anxiety thought of okay, my arm feels weird. I've been having a headache and I'm starting to overspin it, overthink it. I will mark it in my planner and I will wait 2 weeks. My husband's rule, which I love, is wait 2 weeks. If a symptom is still there in 2 weeks, it's worth going to get it checked out. It doesn't mean you're dying, but it is worth going to get the symptom checked out. And so I will wait 2 weeks. I will track within those 2 weeks how long it's happening. And like I said, it helps my anxiety. You know what I mean? Whether or not something's actually really wrong, it does give me peace of mind knowing I'm tracking it in my planner, and I will address it in 2 weeks, and I will have the information to then go to the doctor and say, this has been happening for 5 days. So if you're someone that struggles with health anxiety, this will it will make you feel a little bit more in control, and give your brain, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I have it in my planner. I will go in 2 weeks if it's still bothering me. Guys, 90% of the time it's gone. Okay. Luckily 90%, 95, maybe 98. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. And so that is a little bit in my health planner and how I use it. Again, all those sticky notes, you can either use sticky notes, you can just write the notes yourself. If you didn't want to write all of that and use all those stickers, you can, of course, go, just use your text tool and write the information without the stickers. I love the stickers. It's just what makes it fun. But this was a short but sweet video. I hope you guys took something away from it, and I will see you guys in my next one.